welcome to Community Media Trivia. My name is Eliza Jane. Today is August 18th of 2020. Join us for trivia on communitymedia.net/trivia. You can join us every Tuesday with the same link. We have a new link, communitymedia.net/trivia, or you can join at Crowd Live, which the link is displayed at the bottom of your screen. We are so excited to have a special guest for you today. We have Jim Krut. You may know him by our special movie, Dawn of the Dead. Welcome, Jim.
Thank you very much for having me tonight, Eliza.
I am
really appreciate your bringing me aboard.
I'm so excited to have you here. It's been a few years since I last got to see you, so I'm excited to catch up.
Well, we worked together in a movie, right?
We certainly did. Zombie Girl Diary. That was a couple years ago.
You remember?
Absolutely.
It didn't even come out yet.
I know.
It's only been 8 years, but
I know.
these things happen.
Yeah, definitely. So why don't you talk a little bit about what it was like to be in Dawn of the Dead?
Well, being in Dawn of the Dead, a lot of people say, did you know, first of all, they ask, did you know it was going to be such a major cult classic worldwide? And nobody really knows that. I mean, you put all your best energy and effort into it, but it's really up to the fans. They make that determination.
Yeah.
Just like a sporting event, if nobody shows up in the stands, gee, it was a great game. Too bad nobody saw it. So really, it's up to the fans. As far as my getting involved, Tom Savini, who did all the makeup and special effects for Dawn, he and I had gone to college together, and we also did some theater together in Pittsburgh prior to our being shipped overseas to Vietnam. He went in as a combat photographer, and I went in as a combat medic. And so we both had our own experiences and exposures, and got back to Pittsburgh, and I ran into Tom again, and he asked me if I'd want to be in a George Romero movie. He said he had a great role for me, and as it turned out, yes, he did.
He definitely did. That's so exciting. Awesome. Well, I'm so glad you're here. I'm excited to play trivia and see if some of your fans join in to see if they can beat you in trivia today.
That'd be great.
Awesome. We have our regular panelist, Ak, is here. We have Jeff on. Greg is here, but he is attending a meeting today, so he won't be able to join in with words. He'll be muted, but I'm so glad that he decided to attend anyway. And my little sister, Alicia, who plays online as Bacon, was also here to join us, so I'm excited that she's also here. And Jeff Cook is here, so excited to play trivia with you. Let's get started with the game. It will join shortly. You guys ready for trivia?
You bet.
And the countdown begins. Which horror franchise has the most sequels? Hellraiser, Friday the 13th, Saw, or Child's Play? Having mic problems here.
Nope.
Which horror franchise has the most sequels? %83 said Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th it is. Jeff is in first place. Looks like Brother from Another Mother's back. Jim, Denny Weazer, B-More, and Bacon's playing. What was the name of the main ship Ripley set to self-destruct in 1979 film Alien? Nebuchadnezzar, the Millennium Falcon, Nostromo, or the Event Horizon? Did you guys see any of those movies?
I saw the Alien, the original. That was it.
The Alien original. Event Horizon was pretty good. 33% was C and D. Jeff is still in first. Jeff watches horror movies. Who is known for directing such horror movies as Drag Me to Hell and Evil Dead? Alfred Hitchcock, Sam Raimi, James Wan, or Wes Craven? Anybody see either of those movies, Drag Me to Hell or Evil Dead?
Drag Me to Hell's a fun show.
Yeah.
Drag Me to Hell is a fun show. Side trivia, who's in that picture? Anyone know?
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce
Yep.
Campbell.
Are there extra points for that?
No, wouldn't
Yeah,
it
right.
be- maybe that'll be another trivia question. I just gave the answer away. Jim is in the lead. What are the dying words of Charles Foster Kane in Citizen Kane? Forgive me, Rosebud, Xandu, or a mother? I've never seen Citizen Kane.
Me either.
Black and white.
It was black and white.
Orson Welles.
Yeah.
You're like stolen, freaking
Is that-
something like that.
Is that a good movie? Citizen Kane?
Classic.
It's a classic. 86% said Rosebud. Jim is in the lead.
Wow. Thanks for picking the topic. Gave me a voyage.
What is the name of the hotel in the 1980 file, The Shining? Film. It says file, I think it means film. One word I screwed up but didn't screw up. The Overlook Hotel, Grand Budapest Hotel, Crossroads Hotel, or Hotel Colorado. The Shining is one of my favorite horror films.
You've been there, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I thought you went there.
The Shanley, I was at the Shanley, close.
That's right.
Napanoch, New York. Whodat is in 7th. Welcome to trivia. Whodat. In the 1990 film Misery, why does Annie Wilkes hold the main character captive? For ransom, to help around the house, to rewrite his book, both A and B. Why does Annie hold the main character captive?
Haven't seen that one. This is just a wild guess.
You've never seen Misery?
No.
Oh, you
no.
must see it.
It's a good one.
It's a
Okay.
good one. But holding someone captive to help around the house is actually a good idea. Might consider that. For what movie did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for Best Director? Saving Private Ryan, The Color Purple, Jurassic Park, or Schindler's List? First Oscar.
I have to stop.
First Oscar. Did Steven Spielberg direct all of those movies? That'd be the other question. I'm not sure. I think X Frozen. Jeff has moved to second place. Jeff's a movie buff and a sports buff. Who knew? Actress Jamie Lee Curtis burst onto the scene in Halloween, but her mother, Janet Leigh, is well known for her role in which horror classic? Children of the Corn, Rosemary's Baby, Psycho, or The Thing? Which role is her mother known for? Janet Leigh, 100% said Psycho.
Wow.
I didn't even know who her mother was.
Neck
Jim
and
Jeff,
neck.
brother from another mother. What breakout director saw recent success with Get Out and Us? Daryl, I'm not even going to try and butcher that last name. Lee Daniels, Jordan Peele, or Keegan-Michael Key? What breakout director? Did anyone see Get Out or Us? Either of those movies?
Both of them, yep.
You saw both?
Yep.
I wanted to see them. 71% said Jordan Peele. Jeff is in the lead. You guys are neck and neck, Jeff and Jim. What is the name of the camp in Friday the 13th? Camp Beaver Falls, Camp Rock Creek, Camp Echo Cavern, or Camp Crystal Lake? I think even if you didn't see this movie, you probably know it. If you share memes on Facebook, because they're all over Facebook, when Friday the 13th comes around. %, Camp Crystal Lake. Ding,
Got
ding,
some
ding.
fans on here.
Jeff is still in the lead. Jim is right behind him. Which actor portrayed the helicopter zombie in the 1978 film Dawn of the Dead? Howard
You get
Smith,
this wrong.
Do I have to excuse myself?
Jim Pruitt, Steve McQueen, or Scott Reininger?
Who's that? Heard of him.
No one better
Scott
get this
Reininger?
wrong.
Did you guys put that in, or did it just pop up that way?
They'll never tell.
The world may never know.
I love the mystery. Love a good mystery.
You got it wrong. Okay.
B. Moore ran to third place. What Hollywood movie star plays himself in Zombieland? Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Howard Ramis, or Ernie Hudson? Zombieland. Good movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Zombieland 2.
Zombieland 2, yeah.
Sequel. Mhm.
The sequel. Anybody got a Twinkie? 86% said Bill Murray.
Mhm.
Who's Harold Ramis? I don't even know who that is. Jim is in first place. B. Moore ran to second place. Jeff dropped to third. Who is the only actor to receive an Oscar nomination for acting in a Lord of the Rings movie? Viggo Mortensen, Ian McKellen, Christopher Lee, or Elijah Wood? Oscar nomination. Lord of the Rings was a nice series. Anybody read the book?
Nope.
No.
First one.
The first book you read? Probably on your shelf back there.
I was gonna say.
Jim is still in the lead. What is the highest grossing movie of all time when taking inflation into account? Titanic, Forrest Gump, Jaws, or Gone with the Wind? Highest grossing movie. Quite a wide spread of movies there. %43 said Titanic or Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind.
Wow.
Jim is still in the lead. Who is the first and only woman of color to win the Oscar of Best Actress? Halle Berry, Viola Davis, Whoopi Goldberg, or Angela Bassett? I don't know any of these. I don't know who wins the Oscars. It's a tough one. Remember, the quicker you answer the question, the higher your points are. Halle
Yeah.
Berry. Jim and Jeff are neck and neck. Where does the main character of the Castaway work? The character of Castaway work? The United States Post Office, FedEx, UPS, or the Canada Post? Anybody seen Castaway? The volleyball Wilson. I think we're having a connection problem. 75% said FedEx. FedEx is the answer. Jim's in first, Jeff's in second, B. Moore's in third, Brother from Another Mother is in fourth. We have Bacon in fifth. For which film did Tom Hanks receive an Academy Award for Best Actor? Philadelphia, Forrest Gump, Saving Private Ryan, or both A and B? It's a tough one. Any ideas? Academy Award. 38% said both A and B. Both A and B. Current team rankings up on the screen. What year did A Nightmare on Elm Street debut in theaters? 1978, 1984, 1988, or 1991? Side trivia, how many Nightmare on Elm Street movies were there?
6.
6? I don't know the answer. I can't tell you if you're right. I know there was a lot. 6 probably sounds about right. Jim is still in the lead. When not hunting for rare artifacts, what is Indiana Jones' profession? Museum curator, antique dealer, college professor, or whip salesman?
Whip salesman.
What is Indiana Jones's profession? Whip salesman sounds right to me.
Door whip salesman.
0% said whip salesman. I was banking on that. College professor. You must not have said whip salesman because you're still in the first place, Jim. Who directed the 1978 film Dawn of the Dead? John Carpenter, Wes Craven, George Romero, or Sam Raimi?
Giving me some softballs here.
Everyone should get this right. If you were listening. Process of elimination. %, 88% said George Romero. Someone said John Carpenter.
They'd throw me out of the house if I got that wrong.
In the 1983 film Cujo, the villain is what type of animal? A wolf, a bear, a crocodile, or a dog? Where's Dee Wallace when you need her?
Stephen King, correct?
Yep.
Yes, Stephen King. We'll have to get her on here, Dee Wallace. Jim, we'll put you on the panel if we can get her on here.
That'd be great.
100% said a dog. Jim's still in the lead. Jeff, you're banking on second. Released in 1984, what movie starring Patrick Swayze was the first to release a PG-13 rating? Dirty Dancing, Red Dawn, Ghost, or The City of Joy? PG-13 rating, starring Patrick Swayze. Was he in all 4 of those movies? 50% said Dirty Dancing. 30% said Ghost.
Ah,
Red
Hey,
Dawn.
Wow.
hmm.
Didn't see that one come.
Yeah, that's why I didn't know if he was in all those movies. Whose autobiography, Total Recall, refers to his movie career and election to public office? Ronald Reagan, Fred Thompson, Al Franken, or Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
Total Recall. Do any of you guys follow Arnold Schwarzenegger on Facebook? I know,
No.
random question. He has a donkey, and it's the cutest videos he has of him feeding the donkey like cookies, carrots. You have to look it up sometime.
Arnold?
Arnold Schwarzenegger is the answer. Jim is still in first place. B. Moore is beating Brother from Another Mother. Eddie Murphy's first major motion picture role was in what movie released in 1982, co-starring Nick Nolte? 48 Hours, Beverly Hills Cop, The Golden Child, or Coming to America? Eddie Murphy's first major motion picture role, starring Nick Nolte, 1982. For the life of me, I can't picture who Nick Nolte is.
Rich Man, Poor Man. Yeah.
48 Hours.
Mm.
Like the name rang a bell, I just couldn't think of the guy. What is Shawshank in the movie The Shawshank Redemption? A person, a book, the prison, or a weapon? Has everyone seen that movie? The Shawshank Redemption. I think we're frozen. Shawshank Redemption. 75% said the prison. I think we lost connection. No worries. We'll continue with trivia. Winning teams. Jim got first place in movie trivia. Jeff Cook second. B. Moore got third.
Thank you.
Brother from Another
wasn't like
Mother
too
got
bad.
fourth. Did you lose me?
Those are fun questions. I love movies. I love movies.
Movie trivia, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank
Some
you.
of them I hadn't seen, but I appreciate the advantage you gave me by some that I was in.
By some you in. 2 cheat questions.
I know, that was great. Appreciate it.
So since we have some time left, Jim, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what got you into acting.
I would say primarily people asking me if I'd do a role. Community theater. I think the first thing I ever did was like Guys and Dolls in Huntington Community Theater. I said, musical? I don't have to sing, do I? Dance? No. Well, they had me singing and dancing. Rudimentary, of course. And but I was way in the background. That was all right. But I got a taste for just being in with a group of people who really enjoyed what they were doing and the passion of it. And so I worked with other community theater groups. But in Pittsburgh, I worked in a couple of theater companies, Pittsburgh Laboratory Theater and another one, the Ironclad Agreement, for a total of about 7 years, doing a lot of traveling, repertory company. We do maybe 7 plays in repertory, and they were all original plays. That means we would travel, and at any given time, we would do any one of those plays. Sometimes they'd say, well, we have to cut a half hour out. Okay, well, they were original plays, so nobody knew what it was supposed to be anyway. So they weren't going to miss what they didn't know was being taken out.
Right.
So that all worked out. And what got me started in films was Tom Savini asking if I wanted to do the role as Helicopter Zombie. And that was probably 20 or more years, 20 couple years, till I did the next movie role.
That's exciting. So what would you say is your most memorable or your favorite role personally?
Well, just in terms of the recognition, it's the Helicopter Zombie from Dawn of the Dead. A few years back, about 3, 4 years ago, we did A Host of Sparrows, directed by Kevin Boone, who's a professor at Penn State. And I just loved that role. I got to play a hitman, and it was just a totally dedicated cast. As he said, respect the craft. There was no goofing off. Everybody just was like a well-oiled machine. They always put their best into it. I just really like that. Recently, I think last year, this one came out, which is Darkness Waits.
Oh, cool.
You can see that one that well. I like that because it was kind of a fun role, a little different. It played something of a ranger deputy. I don't know, they keep throwing police uniforms on me for some reason. Maybe it's all standard size and I just happen to fit that. I don't know. But it was a great role. We had a lot of fun with it. I love the director. It was her second film. And her first film, Dead Woman's Hollow, we had gotten together at the New York Horror Film Festival, and her film was shown there for the first time, and it was picked up for distribution. They liked it that much. And so I got to know her because she's from Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, Libby McDermott.
Okay.
And she asked me if I would do a role in Darkness Waits, and I said, absolutely. We've been great friends, and a lot of members of the cast I got to know. But again, it's kind of like a team where you really need to depend on everybody else. When you're doing a film, you know, somebody can goof up, and we'll do a reshoot, we'll do another take. But so it's not quite as tight as being on stage where you have to know the entire play, and there's no going back. There's no, oh, wait a minute, what's my line?
Right.
You got to find a way to keep rolling with it. And that's a real discipline. And when you go from that to working with, you know, a group maybe that doesn't have that same discipline, say, well, maybe I won't do as many of those types of roles or performances. So you just have you develop a real love and appreciation for what the group energy and the passion of just going toward a common purpose together.
Right.
I really love that.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
really, really love it. Make some great friends too.
Absolutely. You get to meet such a variety of different people, especially when you get to travel. It's nice.
Yeah.
So do you have any upcoming projects that you wanted to talk about? Or any different upcoming conventions? I know with COVID, that's kind of put a pause to some of the...
Yeah, the COVID kind of definitely put the kibosh on things. Last year I did about a dozen appearances at different conventions. And this year it's been absolutely zero.
Yeah.
And probably will be that way. The biggest convention we normally do is Living Dead Weekend, which is held in the same Monroeville Mall where most of Dawn of the Dead was filmed, just outside of Pittsburgh. It's a great, great convention. Thousands of people. For the 40th anniversary of Dawn of the Dead, which was filmed in 1978, or released, I should say, they had 40 original guests from the film, plus a few folks from Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, and a couple other Romero films who popped in. And it was just huge. Last year, they did a recreation of me in the helicopter zombie
I
makeup.
saw that video.
They did an amazing job, and we did that on stage. Did the original, did a recreation of the makeup on stage for the audience. Then they did some photo ops. And then we bundled up and went out to the little Monroeville airport where they had the helipad, and they set up some old crates, and we did some photo ops there. And it was Paul Musser, who was the airport zombie, the bald with the missing eye zombie. So he and I were the only two zombies there, so we just did a lot of photo ops. And it was just so much fun seeing the joy in the audience. What it meant to people to be able to see it from the first step to the finishing touches, like where the top of the head comes off and the blood comes pouring out.
Right.
So people get a kick out of that, you know.
Yeah, that's really neat. So where can fans find your work? Like if they wanted to see more of your projects and things that you've worked on that maybe they're not aware of, or maybe to purchase an autograph or purchase maybe some of your DVDs, where can they find that?
Well, I do have my website, which is Helizombie, HeliZombie, as in helicopter zombie, Helizombie. Or you can just do a Google search for Jim Krut, Krut, or Helizombie on, and I should pop up. As far as I know, I have a nephew named James Krut. He was named after me, so he goes by James Krut, so we don't get confused. But on there, I've got, just happened to be a little merch handy here. There's, whoop, I could show it here. So there's, that's Darkness Waits. Remnants has just been released, another film. I have DVDs from 3 of the films that I've been in, Deadlands 2, where we kind of did a biological test at Hagerstown, Maryland, and I was the evil government official behind that. For some reason I get cast as evil, zombies, bad guys, hitman, sometimes
Or
a cop,
police.
sometimes not. Had my helicopter zombie dolls. I don't know if you can see those.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, I see the blood on the top.
There's a gal in the UK who knits those for me. And actually, there are 2 in a package. If anybody needs a set of twins, you know, gift season is coming up.
Perfect.
Gotta move those color TVs.
That's wonderful. Do any of the panelists have any questions for Jim? Ack, Bacon? Jeff disappeared.
That 40th reunion for the Living Dead weekend, that was in 2017, wasn't it?
Yes, 2018, or was it 2018?
Because I
20,
think my oldest sister Karen and I think that's the one we actually happened to be at, but it was so crowded because we saw you there. And we didn't get to stop to say hi because we saw you there. We stopped to see Ken Forey and we talked to him for a little bit because
Ken's a great guy. I love him.
yeah,
Like
he
a
was
brother.
at the horrifying conventions a lot too, so we stopped to see him. But your line was a little too long, so we didn't get to say hi to you then.
It was, well, yeah, Dawn of the Dead was released in 1978, but that was actually the European release. It wasn't actually released in the U.S. until 1979.
Okay.
So we got to celebrate literally 2 40th anniversaries.
Oh, wow, because it was
So
released
we
2
did
separate
shows in
years.
Germany and the UK and other places celebrating the 40th because there, you know, well, it'll be like the 41st over here, but since it was the 40th in the U.S. in '79, yeah, it was. It's been great to get together. The first time I ever went to a convention was like 2000. And I got a call from Cleveland, and the guy says, well, we're doing this show called Cinema Wasteland, and we're going to do a Dawn of the Dead reunion show, and we'd like you to come. I said, well, they said, now, before you ask any questions, we're going to take care of your hotel, and we'll feed you, and people are going to pay for your autograph. And I said, say what? What? And I said, well, I've got nothing from the show even to show. And they said, well, we'll print up some photos and things for you. And it was just so amazing because I got to see some of the friends I'd worked with in Pittsburgh who were other actors. Because I worked with a lot of different actors because I was working in live theater, and a lot of them were also in the movie Dawn of the Dead. So as a result, we kind of got together after, 20 odd years and had a great time. And some of the folks that I wasn't even in scenes with, I later got to know, and we just had a great time getting to know each other. But what really kind of blew me away, I'd say, hey, well, like, where'd you come from? And they'd say, Texas, New Mexico, California, Canada, Japan, the UK, Germany. And I just couldn't believe that there was such a following for Dawn of the Dead and that people would actually want to come and see us. And so, like Lenny Lees, who was the machete zombie, he died with a machete in his head. We became pretty good friends at the show. I said, well, Lenny, we have these pictures, and I don't know, what are we supposed to charge for them? They said, well, guys over there, they're charging like $20, $25. And I said, well, nobody knows me. I just do like $5. And this one guy came up and he wanted us to sign like posters and DVDs or VHSs at the time and laser discs, things I'd never even seen in all kind of languages, in German, in French, Italian, in Thai, and we're signing all this stuff. And, okay, how about 3 for $5 since you have so many? That was what he was doing. Is he's hauling them out and selling them somewhere else. So it was kind of a lesson.
Yeah.
That was our first show. And we started to realize, hey, there's a market for this. But from that show, somebody said, hey, I'm doing a show in Pittsburgh, and we'd like to have you come to that one. So they were doing a Dawn of the Dead reunion show at Pittsburgh Comic-Con, and I went to that. And then from there, somebody said, hey, we're doing another show in wherever, Indianapolis or Virginia or wherever, and we'd like to have you come to that. So one thing kind of led to another, and so over time I started accumulating things like knit dolls and roles in a couple other films. But it's the most rewarding part certainly has just been meeting the fans and seeing what it's meant to be part of their lives when they come and say, I saw that movie 100 times, or they'll bring in their son or daughter, and they're like 9 years old, and they say, that's my favorite movie, and that's my favorite part of it. I say, how old are you? I said, 8 years old. I said, and you've watched Dawn of the Dead? Yeah, with my mom and dad. I said, okay. Wow. I said, I didn't even let my own daughter watch it until she was 16. I said, there's a lot of blood and shooting and all kind of gore in it, and I knew she was a little sensitive. So when my daughter Angelica turned 16, I said, well, what do you want to do for your birthday? She said, Dad, can we watch your movie? I said, oh yeah, okay. So we got a big pizza, and we're sitting there watching the movie on our TV, and somebody, there's a lot of gunfire at the beginning. People shot. She's wincing. She said, oh man, ooh, wow. And she turns to me and she says, Dad, you don't get shot in this, do you? I said, no, honey, I don't get shot.
Yeah, technically, no, you don't get shot.
Have some more pizza. Have some. A few minutes after that, whack, with the helicopter blade taking the top of my head off and the blood pouring out. She goes, ah! Watch that again. Can we run that again? So, my other daughter was going to college. Up until that time, my dad was in this movie. We went to see her. She was at Indiana, and she said, well, Dad, my boyfriend wants to come down and meet you too, if that's okay. So, well, this must be serious if my daughter's boyfriend wants to meet me. Gee, I don't know what's going on, but in walks this kind of tall, gangly dude. He says, Mr. Kret, were you the helicopter zombie at Dawn of the Dead? Yeah, that was me. Well, a couple of my friends are here too. They wanted, is it okay if they come in the room and meet you too? And I go, yeah, that's okay. And, I'm shaking a lot of hands, and my daughter's going, what? So from that point on, like, she became a fan. She got kind of the humor of it, like standing back and watching people's reactions, because everybody's had kind of a different reaction. Even when the movie was playing in the theaters, I'd watch it, not every time it was on, but whenever I'd see it. And my scene would come up, top of the head would come off, and people would be screaming, ah! Or they'd be applauding or laughing. It was just odd that there were so many strange and different reactions to the same scene. And we're doing a panel with George Romero once in New Jersey, and somebody said, was that scene meant to be humorous? And I mentioned the kind of reactions that I had experienced in theater, and George said, yeah, it did sort of break things up, didn't it? we miss George. George was a tremendous human being and a great guy and a wonderful director. We loved him. He's a great big teddy bear of a guy, and it just always made you feel, very, very, very close to him. I had a DVD of Dawn of the Dead 4-volume collector set. And I said, George, would you mind signing this for me? And that's the first time I'd seen him in like 30 years. And he recognized me, and it was just amazing. And he wrote something like, I can't even express what your scene meant to the movie. And to me, that just touched me so much, so deeply in the heart. And just to be remembered, after all those years. He's seen a lot of people, gone to a lot of places, done a lot of things, and so it's been a very significant part of my life for the reactions and the responses it's meant in other people, and the friendships that it's brought.
Right.
So,
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate you sharing that with us. It was so
My
great.
pleasure.
It
My
was so
pleasure.
great to have you on the show. I hope you decide to come back sometime.
well, thank you very much for having me. I'm sorry if I happened to win the trivia. It's just that you threw a couple nice ringer questions in there, and I happen to know the answer. I could spell my own name once, and that was cool.
No, it's awesome that
Thanks
you
for
won the
showing
trivia.
mercy on me.
It's awesome that you won the trivia. It's nice that different people win it once in a while, not always Greg or brother from another mother. So thank you so much. That ends
It was great to be on.
another evening of Community Media Trivia. Come back next Tuesday where we will have a special guest. We will be interviewing David Lee Madison. See you next week. Bye.
Great guy.